guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ellen, and in this video I will be teaching you tips to learn Korean. The Korean language is an East Asian language which is spoken by about 77 million of people. So Korean language is the most challenging language, and for you to learn it you need commitment, dedication and the right method. Whether you want to learn Korean for work or business, or you want to learn Korean for school, or you want to learn Korean to understand Korean songs or K-dramas, you need the right method to learn Korean. So to be frank with you, Korean can be so frustrated and irritating sometimes, especially for the beginners, due to the verb conjugation, which is different from a normal native language or English language. So as you learn Korean, it becomes more interesting. Don't give up because it looks complicated at first, and that's why I've learned up some tips first to learn Korean or teach ourselves Korean. That takes me to the tip 1, which says learn Korean alphabet. The Korean alphabet, which is known as Hangul, contains 24 letters, which has 14 consonants and 10 vowels. So at the beginning of learning a new language, you have to know the alphabet, because that will help you in learning the language whole. So Hangul doesn't seem difficult or seems complicated as it looks like. Within the space of 2 hours, you can actually learn the Korean alphabet. So when you learn this Korean alphabet, it will help you in reading and writing of Hangul or other things in Korean. Tip 2 says learn the most 100 common words. So when you're learning a new language, apart from learning the alphabet, you need to learn the most common used words, so you'll be able to communicate a little in that language. You can learn common words such as greeting, hello, hi, how was your night, how are you doing, my name is. Those are common words that are used. For example, in Korean, hello is 안녕하세요. That's good morning. Manasok Pangapsumida, that's nice to meet you. And if you are traveling to Korea to do tour or do some things, you can learn words related to travel. If you are learning Korean because of cooking, you can learn words related to cooking. That takes me to the tip 3, which says watch Korean dramas. So for beginners, I would suggest learning Korean children's songs, because they are just simple words, so it's very easier for you to catch on. For the intermediate, I would suggest watching Korean cartoons, because they are without subtitles and you'll be able to catch those words when you watch the cartoons over and over again. So for intermediate or for advanced, you can actually watch Korean dramas or Korean movies. So it will help to sharpen your listening skills and help you to get familiar with how they pronounce Korean words. So even as you watch Korean movies, don't forget to learn new expression, new grammar or slang from there, because there are some words that you will not be taught maybe in the site or inside the textbook, but you can grab them from Korean movies. Don't just watch Korean movies for entertainment, but try to grab each and what the actor or actress says. So that takes me to tip 4, which says surround yourself with Korean. The best way to get better at learning Korean is to surround yourself with Korean. So you can change your phone language in settings to Korean language, so you'll be able to grab some things. For example, personally, I have a diary, and anytime I write in that journal, I write it in Korean. So there's no how you can check my journal to read anything, because I write it in Korean. That's a good form of practice. You can write your daily activities, your goal, that year goal. You can write it in Korean to help you to practice. This can make it fun and interesting without you getting frustrated or irritated or you feel like giving up. So that takes me to the 5th tip, which says get a native speaker. Either you are living in Korean, or you travel to Korean, or you are staying in a country which is far from Korean, you can get yourself a native speaker online by downloading some Korean exchange app. For example, HelloTalk. So there are people on HelloTalk that are actually learning different language. For example, let's say I'm learning Korean and I can speak English, so I just have to look for a partner that I can teach English and the person will teach me Korean. So getting a Korean or native speaker will help you a long way. For example, if you write stories in Korean or you want your words to be checked or your sentence, you can actually send it to your Korean partner and he or she will correct it for you. You can set up a meeting with your Korean partner to meet maybe during weekdays or weekend, or you can have a video call with them. So learning directly from a Korean speaker will go a long way in helping you to learn Korean. And that takes me to the next tip. He says, making mistake is okay. So Rome wasn't built in a day, and when you are learning a new language, you will make mistakes a lot. Don't beat yourself about it, or don't say you want to give up because Korean looks complicated or because it's so frustrating. So allow yourself to make mistakes, and because mistakes makes us stronger. Believe me, I personally have made a lot of mistakes while learning Korean. That was the time I was preparing for contest, and after translating everything to Korean, I found out that everything was wrong. I had to give a native speaker to help me correct it, and when she did, I was very angry because I've been learning this language for about 5 years. Why will I make mistake? Why will I do this? But beating yourself about it won't make it right. You just have to leave those mistakes, correct it, and move on. So don't forget to set those goals in Korean. Don't forget to keep learning Korean and fighting. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and comment for more tips. In my next video, I will be talking about tips to prepare for a Korean examination. Don't forget to subscribe.